Good evening. Are you looking for love and dating relationship advice for Valentine's Day?
You've come to the wrong place.
Welcome to NightBlog.
You know, by the absolute grace of God, we are not going to be alone this Valentine's Day.
I will. My wife is working.
But we can make sure that you aren't either by listening to how we did it poorly. Or at least, in my case, I was close to a story where it was done poorly, and I learned from that mistake.
Not your story personally.
No, but my sister's story.
Okay.
Now, me, it was a one-done type situation. Like, I met my wife in high school, and we just dated and got married. It was my first time dating anyone.
Okay.
So, if I was terrible at it, I'd have to ask her, because I didn't know yet, you know?
I met my wife because she was a good friend of mine from college, his younger sister. And when I first met her, I was 23, and I told her how earlier that week, when I first met her, I'd pooped my pants, and I was like full-grown 23-year-old adult man. She still married me. She still said yes when I asked her out. So it is by the grace of God. But I do have my own story. Like I like this girl in high school. You want me to? Is it okay?
Oh, sure.
I'll start.
Yes,
this is my story. I like this girl in high school.
We moved right past poop. We're past poop.
We're past poop. Never past poop.
Don't pass the poop?
Always past the poop.
Pass the poop.
Hello.
Okay.
That was weird. Anyway, when I was in high school, I really liked this girl. We'll call her Stephanie to change the name of the innocent.
She sounds beautiful.
She was. She still is. We're still good friends to this day.
Okay.
I mean, I always enjoy seeing her and her now husband. I think he's a stellar guy.
Oh, he sounds beautiful.
He is.
Okay.
I don't know him that well. He seems stellar. But anyway, I really liked her my sophomore year, and I pursued her for a good part of my sophomore year. And she told me, like, oh, I don't really want a boyfriend. And then a week later, started dating another guy who was like one of the biggest jerks I ever knew. Yeah, that's how I felt, actually. That's how I felt. And like when I heard who it was, like, it's him? You're dating that guy? That guy's he's a turd, man. But I can't say anything.
Freaking turd.
Because I want to preserve that friendship, and if I say like you're dating a complete jerk, what's that look like? The guy who wanted to date you, but so you just you bite the bullet. Like, okay, well, hopefully this won't last long. It lasts like a year, I think. But then my senior year, I liked her again, and I thought, maybe let's try this again. But this time, I wasn't just going to tell her on AOL Instant Messenger I think you're cute. I'm older, mature. I'm 18, so mature, and
our relationship blossomed on AIM. Because I am socially weird.
That's fine. But
Continue.
I go to ask her out, and I come up with a plan. So me and another friend of mine from school, he had a girlfriend. I told him, I'm going to ask this girl out from my youth group. I'm going to bake her a cake. I'm going to ask her out at the Super Bowl. Because my idea was, you know what? I saw this on Napoleon Dynamite.
Can I go ahead and say you're 2 for 2? Cake, Super Bowl.
I know.
It's love.
Yeah, I know, right?
Continue.
Super Bowl, cake. I saw it
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite. It didn't work for Pedro Napoleon Dynamite, but I thought it's gotta work in real life.
Sure.
So I bake a cake. I was a wild cherry vanilla cake. I iced it, and I got what do you call the things? This, it's the pastry thing.
Fondant.
The fondant. I then got red icing.
Yeah.
And I wrote her name in big, beautiful cursive, the best handwriting ever, either on pen and paper or on cake form.
Cursive.
Cursive? Oh my gosh. I mean, I did put Alec or Vlad, hearts, Stephanie on there, but I didn't really mean I'm in love with you. It's not this is really cute, and it was big, and it was bold, and it was beautiful, and I put the little chalky hearts all over it. The Valentines hearts. So I made sure to stay away from love you, because I just like her. I don't want to I'm so in love with you, but so I put I like you, you're cute, fax me, because I thought that was funny, and I get this cake all together. Halftime at the Super Bowl party, I say, hey Stephanie, come here, I got something for you, and she comes up, and I take the cake, and I open the foil, and she's like, oh, and I am so nervous, I'm kind of shaking, I kind of go, it's kind of felt like it sounded, because I was couldn't really get the words out, and then
will you
go out with me?
With me. with half of those.
I made a cake.
Who you are me?
This is her response.
Uh-huh.
This is her response. Go out with you? And, like, my heart just went, oh.
Who was the band playing at halftime? I feel like that has a lot to do with this.
It was Paul McCartney.
I almost threw up my mouth.
It was Paul McCartney. He was playing Hey Jude. I remember this. And so I was like, oh. And I just said, you still want the cake? It has your name on it. So she kept the cake. And she actually came up to me a little bit later and made me in the with the official high school way, pinky swear that we would remain friends. And, you know, we did.
Uh-huh.
We did. She's married to a stellar guy now, and we're still friends. Still talk to her every now and then when I see her in town.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, then it didn't end horribly.
No.
Now it's kind of a fun story,
It is.
I suppose.
It is a fun story.
You're pretty strong with these
I'm good.
things.
I called her a few years after that in college during the Super Bowl halftime. I said, hey, Stephanie, how's it going? She was good. What's up? I'm like, hey, I just wanted to call and ask if you'd go out with me. She's like, what? I'm like, it's halftime of the Super Bowl. I remember. I just thought it was funny, and we laughed, and I talked to her and how she was doing. And, it was
you're like, no, seriously.
No, seriously.
I love you so much.
Well, I'm in New York right now, and you're, I don't know where, but...
I baked you a cake. Mario!
I'll put it in the mail.
Yep. Pass the poo. So I don't have a personal story like that. That's very good. Now,
thank you.
I learned from a terrible mistake made by a guy who was dating my sister. Now, back in the day, I thought this was romantic when it first happened, and we got a knock at the door. The rap tap tap. It was the night before Valentine's.
Valentine's Eve.
Yes. And so we opened the door, and there was none but a box. Just a simple, lowly box. And we think, oh, a Valentine's miracle. A gift. And we opened it, and there were two adorable puppies.
What kind?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I don't remember. They were a Labrador, like shepherd mix, and one was way more lab, and one was way more shepherd. Okay. And one was black and white, and the other was white and black. We named them Mackenzie and Delancey.
Okay.
And they were precious, precious little doggies. And this boy was head over heels for my sister, and my sister was ho for the boy. And so they were, they had a relationship, and then they broke up, and it was not amicable, and it was awful.
Oh.
And so we're thinking, what the crap do we do with the dogs? And the guy's like, well, I'm not gonna come take them back. He wasn't gonna do it. So they're at our house. Slowly, each room starts dying because these dogs feed off of the life force of homes.
Oh no!
And so we lose furniture, and we lose like framing, like to different things on the molding on the floors, and so the story that we realized was after he left, my sister did not like him, and therefore she like hated the dogs because they reminded her of him, and we hated the dogs, and therefore we hated him because this was all his fault. So if you want to make lifelong enemies of an entire family, buy them puppies, and then break her heart, and then don't take the puppies back, and
make sure the puppies from hell too.
Yes, make sure they're awful puppies, and there you have a perfectly awful Valentine's Day.
That is truly terrible.
Yeah, short story of my own terrible Valentine's Day. 3 years in a row, I got in a car accident, headed to give my wife a surprise. So
by year 4, were you no longer going to give her surprise on Valentine's
I called
Day?
her and I was like, I love you so much, I'm staying home.
I am staying here.
One year I got hit by a deer. A car hit a deer and it flew so high in the air I couldn't dodge it and fell into my windshield. It was ridiculous.
So if you're alone this Valentine's Day, it could be worse.
It could be.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
You could be without a deer, but then with a real deer.
My dear.
Your deer.
I love you.
I love you. It's story time.
So tonight on NightBlog, we're going to tell you a love story. And regardless of what we pull from the cards,
we're going to make it.
It's going to be a love story.
A love story.
Because you know what? Love doesn't follow the norms. In fact, love rarely goes by form.
Love lifts us up where we belong.
Love lifts us up where we belong.
Copyright.
Aw, man. What's a love song that's in public domain?
Happy Birthday's in public domain now.
Happy birthday to you,
Mr. President. All right.
Oh. So we start off our love story in a Taiwanese forced labor ship,
where all of the greatest Nicholas Sparks love stories take place.
You know, I bet one does, because they are all tragic. In some way.
In some way. Every single one of them. And there was a beautiful gothic teenage angsty vampire.
Just one?
Well, she's pluralized, but it's a personality disorder.
You know what? We have to pull a second that
We
they
do.
could be in love with.
And she is in love
with a goat named Hank.
Goat Hank.
Now, this kind of works.
It does. Not bestiality, because they're both, like, don't exist.
I probably wasn't going to say that.
I went there. I'm
but
sorry.
most gothic people have... Oh, that's a generalization.
That is a generalization.
My uncle was gothic, and he had goat skulls and goat things, like, you know, like the worship idol things of goats.
That is frightening. But so
That
this
has
is
to do with, like...
This is a match made in hell, I guess.
And that's how she likes it.
But unfortunately, the hot dog is poisoned.
Dadgummit.
Hank Goat, the goat named Hank,
Uh-huh.
got the gothic teenage angsty vampire a hot dog, but it was poisoned.
Yeah,
And
but
so,
he got this hot dog just like you got the cake.
yeah,
It was meant to profess love.
but it professed profuse projectile vomiting.
In which case, this gothic teenage angsty vampire showed her love anyways.
And she got more angsty, though.
Aw.
More angsty. And unfortunately, then Tom Cruise arrives, and he's against medicine.
Oh.
So he doesn't do anything to help. He actually makes things worse and starts taking her thetan levels and tries to take her money to join Scientology.
And he's like, you cannot get medicated for this. It has to work through your system. Hank, back me up here.
And Hank is, bah, bah, bah. But then,
They went back home safe
thankfully,
and sound.
she got over it. She left the Taiwanese forced labor ship with the goat named
Minor
Hank.
leakage, still.
Yeah, you know, Tom Cruise is left there. But they go back home safe and sound, and they live a wonderful, happy, long life.
Free of Tom Cruise.
The end. Weird story, but I'm okay with it.
That was bizarre.
Yeah.
Not one of these connects to the other.
No, but that's the point.
I know.
sometimes. Oh, okay. I'm so gonna back this on Kickstarter, even though it's already backed. I just want to get my copy.
What's that?
For cheap. You ever read Cyanide and Happiness?
No.
It's a webcomic.
No, I haven't
Oh
read.
my
Oh, is it
gosh.
the little blue-shirted dude?
And like green shirt.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking
They
about. Yeah.
they came out with it's like a Cards Against Humanity game, but it's called Build Your Own 3-panel comic strip. It's called something like I forget what it's called. I have to look it back up. But the point of it is that each player has all the cards, and the person who's like has the green card turn.
Yeah.
They place one card down, and then they grab a card from the deck. And they can place those two cards in whatever order that they want, and then it's everyone else's turn to give the punchline. So each one has a panel, and then you have to choose which one you think is the best punchline
I love that.
to the comic strip.
Oh, I love that.
That's cool.